Peter Ameh is a former national chairman, IPAC, and member BOT Labour Party. Thank you so much for being here and thanks for joining us. What do you make of this, would I say rigmarole, or this back and forth, or this confusion that is happening in the Labour Party, especially from yesterday?
For me, there's no confusion because the facts it speaks for itself. You look at the Nenadi Apapa you just said. Nenadi Apapa is supposed to be the deputy national chairman to Abure from the same convention, from the same NEC meeting and convention, extended in Asaba. And if Abure tenure has elapsed, naturally Nenadi Apapa's tenure has elapsed. So the attempt to form a union behind the scene or try to convince members and continue to throw spanner in the wheel of progress of Labour Party will not even succeed, because the issue are very basic. They are not as serious, as complex as is made to believe in the public. The issue is that a tenure was extended for 1 year. A convention was conducted by Julius Abure at INEC. INEC, the umpire, the body responsible to regulate political party activity in Nigeria, which is the Independent National Electoral Commission, publicly stated that Abure's tenure and that of his National Work Committee has expired. And if INEC, this is not something that was made up by either Peter Ameh or His Excellency Alex Otti or any other member of the party. It was the commission that will refuse to attend the meeting convened by Abure at INEC for the National Convention and release a report that they did not participate in it. They have no report to show to the public that the convention was successful or not successful, and then went all to court. When Abure discovered that it was not being given the legitimacy that he so seek or desire, he went to Federal High Court. The INEC joined him in that cause that Abure's tenures are elapsed because the convention conducted an INEC.
Okay, we seem to have a little bit of connectivity issue there with Chief Peter Ameh. He's a former chairman, IPAC, and member BOT of the Labour Party. Well, Benga, Olive, part of the points he's made there is that he doesn't see any confusion happening in the party.
I mean, from his own perspective and commonsensically, you shouldn't see any confusion because he stated the facts on the ground. INEC doesn't recognize the Abure-led faction. But what happens, my question to him would be, what happens when people like Abure and Apapa are disrupting? It does, not every member of the public would understand this. They will just, their thoughts would be, put your house in order. You've not even settled your differences in your small house and you're seeking for elective office. So why should Nigerians trust you? Because that's what they would see, and that's what they're seeing. Majority of people, only if you've been following the story or the case, the court cases and everything to the letter, that's when you understand that, okay, like there's no confusion here. These are the facts of the matter. And it does have a reputational damage. It does reputational damage to the Labour Party.
And speaking about the reputation, that's another angle that I wanted to speak about as to what exactly this might do for the reputation, the credibility of the Labour Party. Does it impact the credibility of the Labour Party? Recall that at the time that the Labour Party gained prominence, it was a party that many saw as that breath of fresh air, because the PDP and the APC had been judged to be two sides of the same coin. They were the principalities and powers of Nigerian politics. And it felt like they needed a third force, a brand new, well, maybe not brand new because the Labour Party had been in existence, but a party with a different energy.
Different option.
And it came, the Labour Party, through the instrument of the leadership of His Excellency Peter Ameh, brought that third force that was different, that seemed like it was going to upturn the status quo. And we did see how, yes, the Labour Party was not announced as winner of the elections, but they were able to shake up the 2023 election. So does this affect the credibility of the Labour Party? How soon can they get over this distraction? Do they consider this a major distraction, especially as they count down to critical elections? We have another election coming up shortly. I think we're joined by Chief Peter Ameh. I believe he's reconnected with us. Yes, welcome back. So we'd like you to speak to, you've laid a foundation for what exactly is going on, and you said it's not really an issue, but those on the outside watching, we're seeing every day there's a different press conference that's being held by a leader of a different faction, the different factional leaders. Do you consider this a distraction, and how well do you think the Labour Party will recover before we get into critical election season? We have the Anambra election, for example, coming up in November. Is this a major distraction for the Labour Party?
I think my network is mediocre, but I heard you right, because what are the preparations before the election arrive? Let me say it clearly, that the party is united. When you have a vacuum such as what happened, you look at the constitution properly, you see that there are statutory members to the National Convention which can sign, combining the signatures together, like the senators, the House of Representatives, the executive governor of Abia and his deputy, his commissioners, all this is a statutory delegate to the National Convention of our party. And they have resolved this issue, and I'm telling you, we are more formidable than we were in the build-up to 2023 general election. We are more committed and determined. Whoever party member does agree, I don't think a father should be able to say that he will not bring his family together. I think from what the Excellency Governor of Abia has said is that they are still going to leave the door open and continue to consult with members that I feel that they should have elongated their tenure through the back door. But the 2027 election will be more committed, will be more strategic. We will have a situation where we will have a more data-driven approach, and we have a situation where there will be foot on ground, because the mandate was given to us and the mandate was stolen due to certain type of complacency. But I assure you that whatever that is there that is going to happen in 2027 will be in the favor of Labour Party. We are not just a political party. We're a political party with several special components. When you have the trade union, being with us, the unionists, and then working along that side, you have the very youthful population of this country who believes in the principles and ideas that is canvassed by our principal, His Excellency Peter Ameh. And you look at the issue of trying to solve the problem. The 2027 election is going to be between the poverty that has been created, the multi-dimensional poverty that even the middle class is almost wiped out. That is going to be the situation where the cost of transportation skyrocketed above 200%. It's not just going to be against Labour Party. The fact is that the indices in the public today does not favor the ruling government, and they have not performed close to expectation. So we are putting this house together. You come to the hall. The numbers of persons who came, went beyond the capacity of the hall to accommodate them, because people were so enthusiastic on how to work so hard, tirelessly, and collectively to be able to see that whatever situations that is bedeviling the growth of Labour Party is resolved, giving the committed strength that is required to make sure that Labour Party no longer continue to go through this crisis. Whatever crisis they are seeing, they are just they'll figure out within a time. All that needs to be done is that INEC was the one that made the statement that Abure tenure has elapsed. INEC is one that can be found on hold, that Abure is no longer the national chairman of Labour Party. Justice Mwite's judgment in November or so, gave Abure authority to act as national chairman. That judgment has been set aside by Superior Court of Records. And for us to respect our legal system and give, we can't just continue to interpret law in order to be able to mislead the public and then make our own interest, put our own interest above public good.
Now, Chief Peter Ameh, just yesterday during that NEC meeting, His Excellency Mr. Peter Ameh did put to death those speculations about him leaving the Labour Party. He said he's going nowhere. In your view, is there a risk that Peter Ameh's political capital could be eroded if the party continues on this part of division and infighting? You claim that, it's just a minor infraction, people will move on, it's a united house, but this has been dragging for quite some time, and nobody even envisaged that Lamide Apapa was still in the picture. And it just appeared yesterday, look, hi guys, I'm here, and I'm the legitimate party chairman. So how do you reconcile all this? Because it does have a reputational damage to your party. Members of the public would not have details of, quite a number of them will have details of all this court orders and the chain of events, the train of events that has gone on. So how do you, what's the plan to get rid of this so-called detractors?
A political party is a public, they are public institutions. You know, we run
Okay. Unfortunately, we seem to have a network connectivity issues again. But I think I got that question. I mean, all of a sudden, one whom many thought was no longer
over with that chapter
in the picture. Yeah, all of a sudden showed up. You know, it's quite fantastic to note that all the opposition parties, political parties in Nigeria, are starting to wake up with a different story that they have to deal with. The PDP is facing its own, and like we had a member of the PDP who came here and spoke, there might be more challenges for the PDP just ahead of the 2027 elections. And now you have the Labour Party. Don't forget that the NMPP too, they also have their own issues. Benga, you recall?
Yes, Olive. I mean, when you were in law school and you were practicing law, you didn't, I'm sure when you had those mock sessions, it wasn't about electoral issues or this. I can just imagine how much inundated our courts are with electoral and party issues. These are, I mean, they're civil organizations. People should learn, and with constitutions. So that are clearly laid down. There's a party constitution, there's a constitution governing the affairs of the entire country. So why can't adults just respect this document?
The good news at least is that my learned colleagues will be eating good.
It's true.
So there's more money moving around for them. So I love it for them. But then, I mean, like you said, what does this mean for the Labour Party? He says there's no issue within the Labour Party. The Labour Party, even the Labour Party faithfuls agree that within themselves, the House has been divided. Does this mean that moving forward, you know, that things are going to get different? Also, seeing Kenneth Okonkwo at the NEC meeting was quite an interesting one. It's garnered a lot of reactions. People were asking, how is Kenneth Okonkwo back?
Exactly. He said he left.
However, the explanation that they would say is he said he would not be a member of the Labour Party under the Julius Abure-led administration. Now, Julius Abure is out, he can be back. I mean,
Julius Abure won't agree with you that he's out. It's subject to interpretation.
Subject to judicial interpretation.
Absolutely.
Okay.